The thing that people make fun of you about is the thing that will save you and free you from this matrix or whatever the heck people want to call it. Because the thing is, like, real recognize real. And some people are so deluded and polluted within their mind that the only way that they can recognize good things is through a negative lens. So when I was growing up, people used to always tell me that I talked a lot. Some people would say that I just always running my mouth, I'm always talking about blah, blah, blah. And then some people would say, oh my gosh, you should put her in a program because her mind, the way her mind thinks. It depends on who recognizes it. But we're so used to, we weigh bad things and not being liked so high that we don't even realize that the thing that people are making fun of you about is because that is what they're noticing. That is a gift. Your gift disturbs demons or whatever. Because, I have a very different way of viewing, demons and things like that. But I'm just saying, like, if we're speaking in like a biblical sense or whatever, your light and the gift and whatever, it irritates, but nobody can ignore the God presence in you. Point blank, period. Nobody can ignore that. Nobody can ignore the gift. So people point it out, and those are sometimes the biggest haters. The biggest haters would be like, oh, you talk too much. You got too much to say. Blah, 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 blah. No, you just don't have enough to say, and you see how much I have to say for some reason. Now, do I talk a lot? Yes. Okay. Sometimes I know people be listening to me and be like, dang, even my loved ones, dang, she be talking a lot. But you know what? The people that really rock with me would never come out their mouth and say I'm talking too much, because they also talk a lot. And I would never come out of my mouth and say they're talking too much. Period. So at the end of the day, people who did that though, now look, I got like how many YouTube channels? Me and my mom have a hair care business where we teach people how to take care of curly, natural, wavy, coily, coarse hair, and what? And all I'm doing all them things is talking. People used to talk about my voice. People used to make fun of my voice. Now I just don't happen to be around people like that. Okay? There's nobody in my circle around me who would poke fun of something that they could consider or think I would be insecure about. I don't have anybody around me that would do that. Okay? So I don't have to deal with that anymore. But I used to. Okay? And so the thing is, like, people who are haters or whatever have like insecurity within themselves, they will poke fun at your gift. And I'm not saying it to shade them, because whatever, that's where they are in their journey. Been there, done that. Okay, it is what it is. No judgment. But what I am saying is that to move forward and to evolve, you can recognize, oh, well, I've been, the universe have been telling me what time it was, because anyone who could see it. What has to be explained isn't understood. What's understood is never explained. So if people recognize some lady told me I have an anointing on my voice. When people recognize that stuff in you, they will call it out in any way that it speaks to them. Okay? If they are secure within themselves, they'll give you a compliment. Or if they're trying to flatter you and get on your good side and try to stab you in the back later, then they'll flatter you. There's a difference between compliments and flattery, okay? People that flatter you, watch them, because they're manipulative. They're trying to get something out of you, and typically they're disingenuous. Okay, so that's why it's important to trust your instincts. But also, there are people who, when they see, what you're doing, blah 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 blah, they'll come at you crazy, come at you from the side of their neck, just on some wild stuff. You're like, yo, what's wrong with you? Like, I thought we was cool, Haters, flat out haters, and that could be anybody. So that's what I'll say. Like, sometimes your biggest what the F, how did I get started with this? I forgot. But you really have to like monitor the way that you move, monitor your thoughts, monitor every single thing that you do, and focus on how you can grow and improve. Okay, at the end of the day, point blank, period. Little by little, a little becomes a lot.